Hi, BrenTech here, where tech is made simple. So yesterday was a busy day for Microsoft on the 14th of November because they've also rolled out a new release preview channel Flight, which is our next optional bug fix C-release update for Windows 11 version 24H2. And the update, which will roll out to the stable version over the next couple of days, will be KB5046740. And when that rolls out and you do decide to install the optional update, the build will be bumped up to 26,100.2448. Now, this is quite a major update and has no fewer than 14 new features. So I'm going to try and get through this as quickly as possible. And a lot of these new features are very similar to what I posted on when I posted on the 23H2 preview build. That's also going to be rolling out to 23H2 users of Windows 11 over the next couple of days. Now, first of all, on a gradual rollout, which means you may see these when they come to stable, you may not see them at the get-go, but nonetheless, they are listed as new features. There's a new feature for the start menu. So basically, when you right-click an app on the pin section of the start menu, currently you don't get jump lists. Here's your jump lists. Those will also appear on those pinned apps, which I think is a nice move. And then just to mention the next new feature for the taskbar, the system tray will now show a shortened date and time. Also, the notification bell icon might not show if you have set the toggle for do not disturb to on. And if the bell icon does not show, you can click the date and time to view your messages in the notification center. And I actually think that's a nice move, just cleaning up the taskbar system tray a little bit. Then just to mention the next one, there's a new feature for touchscreen devices. The update adds a new section for touchscreen edge gestures, which you can configure in settings. For Task Manager, we get two new features. And the first is a bit of a user interface tweak. So the disconnect and log off dialogues now support dark mode in text scaling, where currently you can still see in the stable version that's still light mode, so that's just going to make that a lot more consistent across the board. And the performance section will now show the type for each disk. As an example, SSDs will have NVMe displayed next to it, which just makes identifying that a lot easier. Just to mention the next one, there's a new feature for Input Method Editor where after you install the update, the IME toolbar will hide when apps are in full screen mode. This only occurs when the IME toolbar is active and you type Chinese or Japanese characters. Then the File Explorer has a new feature, and it's regarding sharing to your Android device. So basically when you head to a file and when the update rolls out and you right click and you click on share, there's new share content to an Android device from the context menu in File Explorer and also on the desktop. So to use this feature, you must install and configure Phone Link on your PC. So just take note of that. And then just to mention the next one, there's a new feature for iFilters where Windows Search runs iFilters in less privileged app containers. And that's a mouthful, but what it does at the end of the day, it reduces the potential damage that a compromised process can cause. And then if we head over to our settings, to our dynamic lighting settings page, which is part of the personalization, dynamic lighting. If you use this feature, there's two new features. The first new feature is its page will show a placeholder message when there is no compatible device attached to your computer. Also, the brightness and effects controls will be off. That's the first. And then the second new feature for dynamic lighting is the update adds the forward, backward, outward, and inward direction options to the wave effect. And also the gradient effect, which is this one, now has the forward direction option as well. So a bit going on there with dynamic lighting. Then if we pop over to the accessibility narrator section, for narrator, which is an accessibility feature, they've added new functionalities to narrator scan mode. The first is skip past links N, allows you to navigate to the text after a link. And the next one is jump to lists L, allows you to quickly access a list on a page, a web page, or a document. And then there's also new improvements for speech in Windows, where Microsoft say it has improved its speech to text and text to speech experience on Windows. Users of narrative voice access, live captions, live translations, and voice typing might see a message asking them to update their language files manually. The language files will be released separately through Microsoft Store. And then the next one is for, if we head to our privacy and security page and we look at diagnostics and feedback, they say that there's a new change for settings where tailored experiences will now show as personalized offers in the out-of-box experience OOBE. That's obviously when you're setting up a new device. And just to mention the next one, there's a new feature for jump lists, where if you hold Shift and Control and click a jump list item, this opens the item as admin. So I think that's a nice move, and it's actually been a requested feature. Now, those are the 14 new features, believe it or not. Most of those rolled out and will be rolling out for 23H2 as well. But just to go through some important fixes that are also gradually rolling out, because there's a couple here that have been bothering some users in version 24H2. First of all, just to mention this, there's a fix for DISM, where the start component cleanup task did not work properly. It stopped at 71% and showed error 6842. Then there's another fix for PowerShell, where the get Windows compatibility command sometimes fails. Then you have to restart your PC. So these are important fixes. There's a fix for Windows Update. So when you install an update, you might get error 0x800F0905. That's been bothering a lot of people, so that's good news. And there's a fix for JPEG files, where apparently you couldn't use an API to find rotation information. And then display gets two fixes, where app windows might collect in the corner of a monitor after your device goes to sleep. This occurs when you use multiple monitors. And I have found with 24H2, there's a lot of issues with multiple monitors. And then there's the second fix for display is marker material might not display correctly. This occurs when you use a slideshow background. And then there's a fix for mouse when you use the show location of pointer when I press the control key. So it's this here. So if you set it up, you press control, it's got that little circle that pops out to show the location of your mouse. The circle might be tiny on some displays. That's been fixed. And here's another issue that's been plaguing users. They've fixed the clipboard history, which might not show content. That's been a big one for some users. And they've rolled out a fix for the taskbar. So when you choose automatically hide the taskbar, the search box apparently is an icon, not a search box. That's been now fixed, which I'm happy to see. So normally when you hide the taskbar, this just changes to the search icon and not the search box. And those are the fixes on a gradual rollout, some important fixes there. Now, the fixes rolling out on a normal rollout. The first one, I think, is going to make a lot of users happy, because if we head over to our File Explorer, this issue where the See More menu is showing up, so let's just minimize this just a little bit, where the See More menu is showing up and not down, and if you have it full screen, it cuts it off. That bug now is finally being fixed with this next update, where Microsoft says they fixed File Explorer. When you select the See More button, the menu expands upward instead of dropping down, and so on. So I think that's a good move, and we can expect that to roll out shortly. And then just to mention another one you may be interested in, apparently the Task Manager has got another fix where the users page might cause Task Manager to stop responding when you use the keyboard. And here's another important one. There's a fix for raw format images, where apparently they show in the wrong orientation. That's also been bothering some users. And there's a fix for exporting chart objects. Apparently an app stopped responding when it exports chart objects in PDF and XLSX formats. There's a fix for the mouse and Xbox game bar, where your mouse might unlock from the game window. Apparently this occurred when you had multiple monitors, once again, multiple monitors, and open and close the Xbox game bar. And then the last one to mention, there's a fix for WSL, Windows Subsystem for Linux. Apparently it stopped working and would not start up. So quite a lot of important fixes rolling out for 24H2. Because it has been plagued with numerous issues since rolling out. So good to see that Microsoft is now starting to patch a couple of those issues. And that's our next update, KB5046740, rolling out over the next week or two as our next optional update. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.